bit of Freight Train and a little bit of, I think it was called Victory Rag. Just to start showing off this brand new Fina or Fina guitar, depending on which college you went to. Made in Taiwan, but don't hold that against it. Let me just give you a quick overall view of it. It's a very plain Jane thing. The decoration on it is actually the modern sort of thing that we're dealing with nowadays, laser cut, which is kind of like burned into the wood. There's a little man there with enormous wings, which is kind of echoed in the round about the 12th fret version, with a little bit of wood inlay and a tiny little bit of inlay on the machine head there. While we're up in that neck of the woods, you see it's got very nicely pointed gold plated Rotomatic style machines. That's about the only bit of luxurious appointment on it really. It's a bit of a plain Jane, but it's nice and it's Spartan. I'd sooner have a guitar that's sort of Spartan design rather than a lot of inlay and stuff crammed in there. Let's talk about the construction. It's just, as you see, basic mahogany back and sides. It's probably laminated. I think this top is cedar, but it's pretty light grained if it is cedar. It's very straight and narrow anyway. Rosewood bridge, rosewood fretboard. Those of you worried about the lack of markings, there are some tiny fret markings on the driver's side of the edge of the fretboard there. It's also got a little gold strap button there, but nothing on the heel. So if you're going to put a strap button on, put it in there, because that's the long grain. Don't put it in the side or you'll split it, or risk splitting it anyway. What can I say about this guitar that I've never heard of before, which I got from a friend at very short notice? It's probably the loudest guitar I've ever come across, and believe me, I've had one or two guitars of exceptional make models. I had quite a lot of Martins of one sort or another, and a few Gibsons. Probably the loudest one I had in my possession at one time was a flat top Gibson with a tailpiece. I had no idea what the model was, and it was all mahogany, and that was pretty loud. But I think this has kicked it into touch. And I would say the person that buys this will be somebody who perhaps is a bit of a purist folk singer and doesn't want to plug in, and maybe doesn't even want to play in front of a microphone. I don't know. So I'll just run a plectrum over it just to give you again some idea of the actual volume. Whether you like the tone of it or not, I suppose is a personal thing, and perhaps you might even have to develop a slightly different technique if you want to play it in a mellower mood and use a thicker rounded pick or something. But anyway, here's a few chords, just a few open chords to finish the job off. On the key of A, sorry, the key of E. Now we're in A. Now we're in D, G, C. Muff that, change to F. I suppose you could just vamp on it if you wanted to, but it's not at its best. I think it's best in playing open string chords. So I'll try and do a bit of sort of bluegrassy type flat picking to finish the job off. Here's a tune along with Freight Train. This is one of the tunes that most people have a go at when they're learning to flat pick, which is the Wildwood Flower. Let's see what I can't play very much nowadays. My left hand in particular is jiggered. But anyway, enough of the excuses. Here's a little bit of Wildwood Flower. See what you can think. There it is, the Fina or Fina Jumbo. It's about the size of a Gibson J200. It's not far off, I think. Certainly as big as a Martin treble. Anyway, hope I've made you think about this, and hopefully you might lean towards putting a bid on this. Certainly doesn't have the price of a J200. Thanks for looking. Bye now.